All right, recording again. So let's set the 1-point perspective aside. Dennis played those. And here's my 2-point drawing. So some things I wanted to do. Cassandra had asked about, like there was something with too much distortion and her vanishing points too close together. So if you have larger paper, really anything larger for this would be helpful. If you were working in a sketchbook, you would need to reduce the scale. If this is let's say, for example, well, I guess I could just do this here. If you have horizon line, vanishing point, and height of the table, vanishing points like this, vanishing points there. That's okay. If I have a horizon line, vanishing points the same distance, but my wall is taller, so like my scale is bigger, I'm going to get these. So the vanishing points being relatively closer together based on the scale of the height brings me closer. So reducing the scale of this actually pushes that farther away. So if you have no choice but to use the 9x12 paper, then you should use 1/4 inch scale instead of 3/8. That will help. And just get those vanishing points as far apart as they can, like right on the edge of the sheet of paper. You'll be happy that you did. And yeah, so in this case, mine, this is like 16 inches apart. I could try to do something, I could decide to change this, move this another, it's 2 inches in just like sort of 1 inch scale. If I had that farther out there, all right. If I had my vanishing point like way out there, I could do that. But if I did change if I did change this and move the vanishing point a little farther to the right, any of the edges that I drew with this vanishing point that's closer, I'd have to redraw using that vanishing point. There would be a slight difference to them, not a lot, but a little bit of a difference. It would actually help if, like, here the distance between from here, like the closer leg, the farther leg on the front, it would make this leg a little longer, which could end up looking a little more realistic. I went in to visit Joey in the bedroom and I woke him up. Now he wants to be out here, and I have to go and switch them to do that, which I might do for Charles. Okay. So there. So if I'm working in like here, I'm gonna just try to stay away from where my vanishing points are. If I get too close to the vanishing points, I'll get really like sharp edges that won't look very good. All right. Now, let's say I want to draw like the height of, let me see, I'm going to draw this here. And I'm just going to stick with this so I don't have to redraw everything. All right, so let's say I have, so Alina, any of the, let's say I have a,
I'm sorry, what were you asking me?
I'm addressing your
Oh, okay.
question.
Thank you.
Yeah. So let's say I have,
So like if I'm not estimating, but I'm working off a particular scale.
yes.
So,
So with this, I have, so you've got scale back here in the corner. And in 2-point perspective, this is the only place you have scale that you can measure.
Mhm.
So when you have, base of the wall is there.
So if you could just draw something like right in the middle of that room that is, say, I don't know, like a three feet tall.
Okay,
I
1, 2.
don't know, whatever that might be, a chair, a table, or something.
Okay, so 3 feet at the corner is right there. I'll get that a little bit bigger. So 3 feet is there. So if I want to, let's say I want to make this 3 feet tall. Would that help?
Yes.
Good. So I don't know. I mean, I can try to like guess and draw up from the corners, but I really don't know how much is 3 feet, because 3 feet in scale, from the bottom of the wall up to that point, that's 3 feet back there, but this is closer, so it's going to have to get bigger. So I've got the base of the wall. Oh, I don't think I really. Let's make sure. Okay, 3 feet is there. There. It was a little soft on my measurement there. All right, so 3 feet. So the base of the wall's here. 3 feet. So what I would do is I would draw from the vanishing point through 3 feet. Actually, make that a little bit longer into the room. So 3 feet along the wall right there. The base of the object, I would draw over to the wall. And when I hit the base of the wall, then I go vertical. This is where, using a straight edge can be, estimating the straight here, since I'm not using a drafting table. Over the wall, up to 3 feet. So that's 3 feet at that distance from the corner. and then out into space. Then this is like coming off. I drew like from this back edge here to the wall, then up. So from here, I could draw these up to these, from these corners up to that 3 foot height. Then when I have these edges go up to the 3 foot height and I get some 2 corners right here, I can draw out there. Let me use my red pencil. Okay, and then from this corner up, just try to go straight there. And then I'll line up there, yep. There. That's 3 feet at that spot.
That's helpful. Thank you.
Excellent. Good. So, what is this? What shall we? It's like a block of wood.
It's to hold up a statue.
What's that?
It's to hold up a statue.
Oh, it's a pedestal. Yes, it's a base. It's a pedestal base for sculpture.
Let's do a chair. I mean,
Chair.
what else can you do from a chair? For a table, it's kind of too tall, right?
Yeah, that's more like a countertop height.
Mm-hmm.
So, so a chair. I mean, we could make a chair facing this one. All right. Let's see. So if I wanted 18 seat height, these things off the table. So much stuff in the way. There. Too much clutter. So 1.5. I could estimate 1.5 about there. Or I could put the half there and then go to that, like 2. All right. There's my 1.5. Is there. So I could do this just like go back up and like where this came up, this kind of awkwardly fell in the same spot as that vertical. I think I gotta go feed Joey. He didn't seem like he wanted to eat, but now it seems like he does. Boy, it's like working at home with children. Love them dearly. So there's the 1.5. There's the 3. And you can kind of see that I've got like my all right, Joe, hold on. Sorry, man. Not fair. The service around here is lousy. Cats don't get what they want when they want it. Okay, in this case, at this angle, based on the shape of this, I think the shape of this might be a little wide, but we'll have to wait and see. There. Chair-ish. Actually, you see a little bit of the end of that. Lighten this. And Dennis is murdering the catnip bag behind me. All right, there we go. So that I can see is a little, the thing is that this little bit is actually not that bad. Right here, this is a corner, and it comes back. And it's important that I get that. If if this vertical were right in the same spot that this came to, it might look like that seat goes on forever. That is good right there. If I had something like a so here, if this is the back, I think I would like bring that forward a little bit. Maybe this in here. Taper the legs a bit, drop this down. That's okay, that's not terrible. All right. So that would be, scaling this for 3 feet high. So this is now, the back of this is now like what's 3 feet, the rest of this all gone. And if I'm drawing this as a specific piece of furniture, then I am drawing, I'm going to be looking at a photograph of a design and drawing it there. But starting with that, just like, sticks and planes as the piece of furniture is that's a great way to begin, because you can control that very easily. Okay? Okay. I think I'm going to go get Joey some food, and then when I come back, I'm going to put a pendant light hanging down between the chairs. And I will locate a spot on the ceiling for the cord to come from. Be right back. I'm going to pause the recording, and I'll be back in a couple of minutes. All right. Okay. So here, I'm going to draw a pendant light hanging down. I've got an approximation of the space in between the chairs. So I could just say if I were to draw a rectangle, which this chair is interfering with my ability to draw that rectangle really clearly, but I can approximate an X across that diagonal, and the middle is about there. So base of the wall is here. From the middle in perspective to the base of the wall, straight up to the ceiling, and then in perspective out. Then from the center here, straight up. And that right there is where that would come from the ceiling. So I located a spot on the floor. I went over to the wall in perspective, straight up the wall to the ceiling, and then back out in perspective. And it's like you could draw like a room divider that way. But really I need to just go like over, up, back over, and then I find my spot. I got the line, I've got to come up from the center. Then, if I have depending on how this goes in, you might have like a circular plate. Just make sure it's close to having this in the center. Cord come down. Maybe a little bit of thickness. This happens to be going like lining up exactly with the corner. The height of this, if this is arranged like over a table, you could have it like hang down to like, whatever comfortable height. Could be 6 feet. If it's hanging down in the middle of a room, you don't want it to be where, low enough that people are going to hit their heads on it. So here's your this is your eye level 5.5. You might just say like the top of this, you know what, let's just say this is like a globe. And it's meant to be in this place where you don't walk through there. It's meant for like, this is seating, and so it can be a little bit lower. But that's how you might do that. If this had like that kind of cone-shaped opening, you could start that as a triangle. And then draw that ellipse in there. There. But, this is not just a, make that flatter. Yeah. This can be tough because the ceiling is angling. It's like angling up, but you're trying to draw something that is. You don't want to have it angling up too much like that. Like if there were like a canister lighting or recessed lighting here, the ellipse for it, wherever they are, would still be like they're it's seen like the widest spot. It would just be like a horizontal line through the widest spot. If it were like canister lighting coming out this way, I wouldn't have them angling like that. I would just have them the same, so like the same way like that. So this is a design matter. Like if this is a lower ceiling, you don't necessarily want a pendant light hanging right down in the center. Or like if you've got to leave it really short like that, it might look a little bit strange. But this was just a demonstration to show you how you would locate the spot that would come down from. All right. Now, how about a window on there? All right, so if I'm putting a window on this wall, you do not draw just a flat rectangle there because it's got to be parallel to the top and the bottom of the wall. So that would go, I've got, if you know your height, you can bring it down. Corner. Bring it down a foot. Longer straight edge. Don't move. Okay, and then there. 4 feet. No. 2 feet from the floor. There. So there's the top and the bottom of the window. I'm going to put this here. And yeah. There, nice big window. All right, so these edges are going to this vanishing point on the right, and so the depth of it will be a little bit harder to imagine sometimes. There. So I'm drawing to this vanishing point. Thickness of the wall would also, if you could see through the wall, you would see that there are edges here and here, but this is solid wall material. We can't see them. Here's the opening. We can see those two there. We will estimate a depth for the window. Just try to keep that parallel. And so you estimate like a depth for the thickness of the wall. You don't want to make it too thick unless it's like a bomb shelter or something like that. So then wherever we get like the depth and then the vertical edge, there's an intersection right here. I'll put my point on this and put my point right there. It was very helpful. No, Dennis. It's helpful if I'm trying to be really precise. If I put my sharp pencil right on the point there, hold the pencil, or in this case, the lead holder vertically, and then the right edge of the straight edge is on the vanishing point, and I can make that line. Okay? Good drafting technique if you're drawing, like, if you can. Turn the lead holder or pencil to help keep a consistent line weight. I sometimes just forget to do that. And this is also not like it's not drafting for, floor plan elevation or any other kind of any sort of construction drawing. So I can get away with line weights that are not pristine. All right, there's my window opening. This, the middle of this, if I want to draw the glass, somewhere like the glass, if the glass is centered, it's going to be a little, just a teeny bit back from what looks like the measurable center. And I just angled that. So I will erase and draw it again. So if I'm eyeballing parallel, so I guess I know that's wrong. I'll move in a little bit. That's better. Then from here, in here, There. There. Okay. There's my window. And if I want the framing, the modern style framing here, do that. Hey, get the heck away from that. Dennis, out. Oh. There we go. There. My little genius is trying to eat drafting dots off the trace. They should not eat drafting dots. Oh, I just broke that. Don't lean on your lead. Here. Okay. If you use a wood clenched pencil, you got to make sure you sharpen it often. Well, that's not quite right, but here, that will be my framing on it. Okay, there's my window. How's that look?
Very nice.
Is there anything else that anyone is drawing you want to see me demonstrate drawing it? You can play Stump the Chump.
How about like a chair? Like I have a chair with its back against the left wall, and the back of the back cushion, instead of being rectangular, is sort of like a tight back, rounded back. Like, how do I kind of show that? Like with shading to show three-dimensionality, or
Let's say, so like this chair, so let's say this is sitting back against the window.
yeah.
I wouldn't want to necessarily back a chair up against the window, but this is a drawing exercise. So you're saying that the seat back is circular. Is that the case?
Wait, let me unmute. The back is straight, but then the part of the back that you would lean against,
Yeah.
that one is rounded towards the back.
Oh, so it's like curved back like that?
Yeah, like so it curves back. So the top of the seat gets narrower and narrower as you go towards the top of the chair.
Got it. What's the can you show me a picture of it?
I don't have a picture like up here. I'm sorry.
Okay. Where do you know what who designed or manufactured the chair?
No.
Well, I would be. It would help me if I knew, but I'll see if I can do this. So you're saying it's like is it like that? Like tapers to a
Yes.
smaller?
Yes.
Got it. Okay. So what you would do here, these curves are you're going to estimate. So that can be like so if you have this like as if it's rectangular first, then you just kind of curve from the bottom, you just curve it back. Yeah, and you just try to match the design of the chair as best you can.
Okay.
Yeah. So is it like this?
Yes.
Okay, good. Well, good. Then I guess I didn't need to see the picture of the chair after all. Yeah, and sometimes like a design like a upholstered chair might have like a little bit of a bump back here. So you just try to draw the thing as best you can. And then, well, let's say I have like a circular throw pillow here. A little button in the middle. Or let's say like let's say there's like a little like tiny like little like back support pillow sitting there. You can see like if it's leaning, you could start like something like that just as a rectangle. So these are angled, not straight up and down. And then you just kind of like curve the edges like that and create a side. Or if you don't really see it, like if it just kind of tapers to a seam somewhere here, it's almost like it'd be like a soft rectangle. And you might see a side seam there. But in some cases, you can't really draw something very clearly until you shade it. Because if it doesn't have a really sharp edge, if it's not like a cushion, like a seat cushion or a back cushion, it's just like it's a pillow. It might just have this like curving, like if you had like stripes on it, they might curve like that. And that's how you would see the dimension of it. Down like that. I'm sure I would want this gridded pillow, but maybe that's an opportunity for some interesting design kind of a thing. No, like that. So now this looks more like a pillow. And sitting there, it would look even more like a pillow. Because sometimes, sometimes the context really helps the viewer to understand what it is you have drawn. Whoops. if this object is sitting here, like what could it be but a pillow, you know? Good, so like let's try that. I'm gonna have it sitting like there. Maybe that's a little too big. Personally, I don't mind having a pillow to stick behind my back when I'm sitting down in a chair, because usually the seat is too deep, and if I sit back, it will be a very bad position for my back. It's like a side seam. There. Kind of like that. There. I don't know that I would put that there, but there you go. There's a little pillow that's maybe a little too big sitting on that seat. Okay. Now what?
Duffy?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. If you were to draw, like if you were to have like a protruding wall closer to like the left, but the front, like closer to you, would you just kind of draw the vertical and then whatever you would see past the vertical?
Yeah. So you want to have like a wall that projects this way
Yeah.
into the room. And yes, oh, that's a good one. Let's see. Let's take this silly thing out of here. So if I had, so like I think I would start by drawing like where the wall begins, like that. And how far, like, let's see, I'll just do this for a sec. There. So if there's like a little projection of the architecture, there, you can see as I get closer to the vanishing point, it's getting really, the angles to the vanishing point just get sharper and sharper, and really, like, this is getting out into the, what would be the peripheral vision if you were there looking at this place.
Okay, and then if you were to have like a painting on that wall, if you were just extend it to the left, it would just go further out, and then you would draw things based off of that angle to the vanishing point, correct? From that wall?
On this wall?
Yes.
Yep.
Okay.
So yeah, if you had like artwork here. Yep.
Cool. Thanks.
And yes, and for the thickness of this, down to the vanishing point, up to the vanishing point. Right there. Molding, I'll put some baseboard molding here. Crown molding, really just like an extra line above it.
Okay, thanks.
You're welcome. No, I can't stop now. Sometimes it just gets too fun. I want to see something with a little extra detail. Yeah, now this is actually getting to be kind of cool. Well, here comes Elliot. Good. I'll leave that alone for the moment. I think what I might do instead, since it's not that tall of a ceiling, I don't really want a pendant light there. I'm just going to make this like a big, like, large, almost like a that looks weird. Sit here. There's my pay attention to what you're doing. Now that's light there, and you can just do like a bare light bulb hanging there. I think it's a dump. Yeah, so like a window over here would be the same basic process as I did on the right side and on that left side. Just going to try to estimate that thickness. That good. My horizon is there. You know, it's somewhere by the ocean where there are some mountains. There's some like a park way down there. That's there, and well, maybe like just some like little evidence of some boats, sailboats. Be careful with scale. A little like just like a little quick flick of a triangular shape here. Sailboat. I once had a drawing from a student with a horizon and the lake, and bless her heart, she'd not drawn a sailboat since she was a child, and so we got this on the horizon. That would be a really big sailboat, by the way. That's pretty far away. So I would look at examples or ask me, I want to draw like, you know, like you want to say this is a high rise and you want to draw like Lakeshore Drive or a highway that goes along the shoreline. Ask me. This is just like perspective, you know, right there. Estimating the shape, the sort of like, you know, tree, that like tree line shape. Oopsie, is like a wiggly. No, don't touch that. Forgot that I have a half of a English muffin right here. Come here. Come say hello, Elliot. I haven't seen you today. All right, little baby. Yep. Okay. Go up there. Okay. All right. Oh, no, no. All right. Any other questions you have about the 2-point drawing, how to draw things, where to put them?
For our assignment, we don't color, right? Like we just like draw them and then shade them and then
I'm more interested in getting the perspective accurate.
okay.
So a little bit of like this kind of like the shading helps for volume. Um, but actually, if your drawing is like on layers of trace like this, I would be perfectly happy.
Okay.
So yeah, so
Cool.
marker rendering is not a requirement of this assignment.
Awesome. All right, thanks.
Yep. Yeah, yeah, there will be time for that.
And that's due next Wednesday, correct?
Yes, both the 1 and 2-point drawings next Wednesday.
Well,
Yep. Good. Have you seen enough?
Yep,
You want to watch Elliot play with a pencil?
enough to proceed.
What's that?
Oh, enough to finish up and everything.
Yeah, if you just like, if there are if you have any more questions about things you'd like to see demonstrated, I'll be happy to do more demonstrations. But if you feel that you've seen enough to help you do what you need to do, then you do not need to stay any longer. Okay. So the carpet, area carpet. I wanted to do that. So like an area carpet here that goes like to the edge, just off the edge of the wall, up to here. So cropping. Darn it. So cropping this. If I draw, like, say, like I've got the carpet out here and I bring it way out here, this corner is going to get just kind of weird and awkward. If the information I've got, like down at the bottom of this chair, if this is as close as any like useful information comes, I might crop the drawing right there. And then maybe like here, so I can show the corner right there, so I can show that there's more space that way. And then here, if I've got like maybe, like some artwork, like a big painting right here, I might just crop this drawing there and there. Like that. So that I can see that, I don't want to draw too far. I don't want to draw too far to the right, to the left, up, or down. Because if I do, it's going to get weird and you get too many pointy corners that look weird. Like, if you had a large enough sheet of paper, I could keep drawing like way down and show, like, make it look like I can see what's right in front of me and what's right at my feet at the same time. And we can't see that way. We can only really concentrate on the area that's right in front of us like that. you're aware of your peripheral vision when you're looking at something, but I mean, you can't even really, like, this drawing allows me to show a wider view than I could actually see. So you want to be careful that you don't go too close to either of the vanishing points with the important information in your drawing. So that's an important distinction. If there's a carpet design, let's say I had like, if I give myself some guidelines, let's, you could have like, if it had like a gridded, like, sort of like alternating, kind of like a different color squares all around, you could grid this. You'd have to approximate the distance from each of those lines. But if I had even like a border on this carpet, I'm using the vanishing points to draw it. There. Yeah, my preference is for something that's, like not some big outrageous pattern. So if this were just like a border with like a color of carpet, you're if you had like with shadow there, or even like to try to show the softness of the carpet, with pencils, kind of, especially on the tracing paper, it's really kind of easy to put some smudge of graphite down. And you can't really see it very well. You kind of see it a little bit here. But it's not really if it's not a high pile carpet, I wouldn't spend a lot of time trying to put texture on it. Certainly, like if you try doing this, a little bit with line might help if it's like a shag or some like really deep pile of carpet. But if it's not, I wouldn't draw a bunch of really clear dark marks like that. Really, if you're you would have to wait until you get to the rendering phase, in which case you would put down like the color of the carpet and then use like a gray to put in shadow. That would allow you to see the thickness of the carpet and like really like light shadows in here for where you see not just like the shadow cast by the chair, but also just like a little bit of that sort of like, the texture that you can see from a carpet. So you don't want it to look like it's grass. Unless it's grass. There are some, I've seen this with some designs, more commercial designs, where they actually have like not just plants, but like they've got like a little bit of an arboretum indoors with grass growing in it. But that's not the case here. All right. Let me know if you have questions as you work on your drawings. If you need specific help with a drawing that you can't solve by sending me an email, I can meet you in WebEx to help straighten out a problem. But let me know. Give me some give me a little time to schedule it with you. But I'm, my time. I have a fair amount of free time. Really starting like tomorrow, late afternoon, evening, through the weekend. So let me know if if it helps you to understand something faster. I'd rather do that than try to write emails and describe something. Okay.
Thanks, Duffy.
Thank you.
You are welcome.
Thanks, Duffy.
Thank you.